The sensation of the atmosphere thickening around your being is not an atmospheric anomaly, nor is it the onset of a worldly affliction, but rather the deliberate condensation of the divine presence settling upon the contours of your soul. You have felt this mounting pressure in the quiet hours of the pre-dawn mist, and in the heavy stillness of the midnight watch, where the very air seems to vibrate with a frequency that your physical senses struggle to interpret. This is the alchemical weight of destiny, a sovereign compression that the heavens apply only to those who have been marked for the highest service in the coming age. You must understand that this crushing force is not an instrument of destruction intended to break your spirit, but a precise application of celestial gravity, designed to separate the wheat of your eternal essence from the chaff of your temporal attachments. As the world accelerates into chaos, the heavens are pulling you into a sacred vacuum, a sanctuary of solitude, where the clamor of the masses becomes a distant and unintelligible murmur, and the only voice that remains is the one that whispered your name before the foundations of the stars were laid. This solitude is your crucible, and while it may feel like a desolate valley of abandonment, it is in fact the throne room of the high and lofty one who seeks a contrite and humble spirit to inhabit. The isolation you experience is a strategic withdrawal orchestrated by the hand of the unseen to ensure that your vessel is purged of the contaminating influences of a dying civilization. Every friend who has walked away, every door that has slammed shut, and every social circle that has withered into silence was removed by a mercy you cannot yet fully comprehend, because the heavens cannot pour the wine of the new mandate into a skin that is still filled with the vinegar of old associations. You are being moved into a sacred void where the noise of humanity fades into an echo, allowing the silence to become a heavy mantle that prepares you for a purpose that the common world cannot conceive or sustain. This mantle of silence is a weight that builds the spiritual musculature required to carry the weight of glory, for a vessel that is full of self can never be full of the divine. The stripping away of your worldly armor is a painful process that requires the removal of the layers of identity you have meticulously constructed to survive the harsh climates of the human experience. You have worn the armor of intellect, the shield of reputation, and the helmet of social standing. But these artifacts are too heavy for the celestial heights you are being called to scale, and they are too brittle to withstand the radiant heat of the presence that now dwells within you. The heavens are peeling back these layers with a firm yet tender hand, revealing the raw and vulnerable core of your spirit, which has been hidden under the debris of expectations and the scars of past battles. This vulnerability is not a weakness, but the ultimate state of readiness, because it is only in the absence of self-defense that the divine can become your absolute protector. As you stand in this nakedness of spirit, you are beginning to merge with your true celestial frequency, a vibration that hums in the marrow of your bones and resonates in the chambers of your heart with a frequency that is not of this earth. This frequency is the language of the kingdom, and as you align with it, the crushing weight you once feared begins to feel like a familiar embrace, a tether that grounds you in the eternal while the shifting sands of time swirl around your feet. You are becoming a bridge between the unseen and the seen, a conductor for the electricity of the heavens to flow into the parched lands of the material realm. But this can only happen if you remain in the press until every drop of your own will has been extracted and replaced by the oil of divine submission. The sanctuary of solitude is where this exchange takes place, where the exchange of your small strength for the infinite power of the Creator is finalized in the quietness of a surrendered heart. Within this sacred compression, there is a multi-layered protection that surrounds you, even when you feel most exposed. Your physical body, which often feels the brunt of the spiritual pressure, is being fortified by an invisible weave of golden light that shields your nervous system from the overload of the high-frequency downloads you are receiving. This protection is a mercy that prevents the intensity of the divine encounter from incinerating your mortal frame as the heavens work to upgrade your biology to sustain the weight of the mandate. Your mind which is often the target of the enemy's whispers and the echoes of your own doubts, is being enclosed in a labyrinth of peace that transcends human understanding. This mental fortress is a place where the logic of the world cannot enter, and where the strategies of the kingdom are downloaded in the form of intuitive leaps and prophetic insights that bypass the limitations of linear thought. Your spirit, the innermost sanctuary of your being, is being anchored into the very bedrock of the eternal realm, protected by an unquenchable flame that burns away every shadow and every remnant of fear. This triple shield of body, mind, and spirit is not a wall that shuts you out from life, but a filter that ensures only that which is pure and holy can reach the center of your being, while the distractions and deceptions of the fallen world are incinerated at the threshold. You are being held in the palm of a hand that is both fierce and gentle. And in this holding there is a total security that requires no effort on your part, only the willingness to remain still in the middle of the storm. As you navigate the depths of this alchemical process, you must embrace a profound mercy for the mistakes and stumbles of your past. The crushing weight is also a process of deep forgiveness, where the failures that have haunted your memory are being ground into dust by the millstone of divine compassion. The heavens see the tears you have shed in the secret places, and they acknowledge the times you have faltered under the burden of your own humanity. But these errors are not disqualifications, they are the very reason for the intensity of the refining fire. The high and lofty one does not seek a perfect vessel, but a broken one that has been mended by grace, and the cracks in your soul are the very places where the light of the celestial frequency shines most brightly. There is a mercy that flows over your history like a river of forgetfulness, washing away the stains of regret and leaving behind a spirit that is as clear as crystal and as resilient as diamond. You must forgive yourself as you are forgiven, for the heavens do not hold your weaknesses against you, but use them as the focal points for the demonstration of their power. This mercy is the balm that heals the friction of the refining process, making the heavy press feel like a soothing massage of the soul, rather than a violent confrontation. In this space of total acceptance, you're free to let go of the need to prove your worthiness and simply exist in the state of being chosen, which is a gift that can neither be earned nor lost. The transformation you are undergoing requires a radical shift in your perception of the world around you, starting with a deep and abiding gratitude for the microscopic details of your daily existence. In the sanctuary of solitude, you are being taught to find the presence of the divine in the smallest of things, the way the light catches a dust mote dancing in a sunbeam, the rhythmic pulse of your own breath as it enters and leaves your lungs, the cooling sensation of a glass of water against your parched throat. These tiny details are the fingerprints of the Creator, scattered across the canvas of your life, to remind you that the God of the galaxies is also the God of the minute. When you offer gratitude for these microscopic miracles, you're opening a portal for the weight of glory to settle even more deeply into your physical reality. This gratitude is a frequency shifter that moves you from the vibration of lack and struggle into the vibration of abundance and peace. It is the practice of seeing the sacred in the mundane and the eternal in the temporary. The rustle of a leaf, the smell of the earth after a rain, the steady beating of your heart. These are the anchors that keep you connected to the goodness of the Creator while you are suspended in the sacred void. By focusing on these infinitesimal blessings, you are building a foundation of joy that cannot be shaken by the external pressures of the world. The mandate for which you are being prepared is one of such magnitude that the common world cannot conceive of its weight or sustain its requirements. You are being groomed to be a carrier of the glory, a living tabernacle that moves through the dark places of the earth, releasing the frequency of the heavens wherever you step. This requires a level of self-emptying that is absolute, for any residue of personal ambition or ego would be crushed under the sheer mass of the glory you are destined to carry. The heavens are looking for a vessel that is empty of self, and full of the weight of the Eternal One, who can stand in the presence of kings and in the pits of despair with the same unwavering authority. The crushing weight you feel now is the measurement of the glory you will soon release, and the intensity of your current isolation is the measure of the influence you will eventually wield. You are being hidden away in this secret place, not to be forgotten, but to be forged into a weapon of light that will be revealed at the precise moment of the world's greatest need. The sanctuary of solitude is your training ground, where you learn to hear the heartbeat of the Creator and to move in perfect sync with the celestial rhythm. Do not rush this process, and do not despise the wait, for it is the only thing that will keep you steady when the heavens open and the full measure of your destiny is poured out upon the earth. You are being invited to rest in the middle of the pressure to find the Sabbath of the soul, even as the heavens continue to press upon you with relentless force. This rest is not an escape from reality, but a deep immersion into the truth that you are being held by a power that is greater than any force in the universe. In this rest, you find the strength to endure the stripping of the armor and the courage to face the nakedness of the void. You are being moved from the realm of doing into the realm of being, where your value is not determined by your works, but by your identity as a chosen one. The pressure is the press of the potter's hand, shaping the clay into a vessel of honor. And although the clay may feel the strain, it is the hand that takes the responsibility for the final form. Trust the hand that presses, trust the silence that envelops, and trust the weight that grounds you. You are becoming a monument of mercy, a testament to the power of the divine to take a human spirit and infuse it with the frequency of the heavens. The sanctuary of solitude is no longer a prison but a palace, and the crushing weight is no longer a burden but the very garment of royalty you were born to wear. As you emerge from this void, you will not be the person you once were, for you will have been consumed by the weight of glory and reborn as a son or daughter of the eternal light, carrying the mandate of the heavens into the heart of the world. Remain in the press, stay in the silence, and let the alchemical work of destiny reach its perfect completion within you. For the time of your unveiling is near, and the world has never seen the like of what you are becoming. The heavens are watching, the angels are standing guard, and the Creator himself is breathing through you as you become the vessel of his sovereign will. Hold fast to the microscopic graces and the multi-layered protections that are yours by divine right, and let the mercy of the unseen wash over you until every shadow is gone, and only the radiance of the celestial frequency remains as a beacon for all who wander in the dark. This is the weight of destiny, and it is your greatest inheritance. The atmosphere around you has grown heavy with a density that defies the laws of the physical world, as you stand within the threshold of a transformation that few have the courage to name, and even fewer have the strength to endure. You must understand that the crushing weight you feel upon your shoulders is not the result of a cosmic error, nor is it a sign of your abandonment by the divine architects of destiny, but it is rather the calibrated pressure of the heavens themselves, pressing down upon your essence to ensure that your form is tempered for the magnitude of what is to come. This is the alchemical weight of destiny, where the very air you breathe becomes thick with the gravity of your calling, and every moment of internal warfare serves as a precise measurement of the glory that is currently being manufactured in the secret places of your soul. You are walking through the furnace of affliction, not to be consumed by its flames, but to be reconstructed by its heat, because the vessel that is intended to carry the weight of eternal truths must be forged in a fire that is hot enough to incinerate every lie you have ever told yourself about who you are. The shadows that surround you in this hour are not your enemies, and they are not agents of your destruction, though they may whisper to you in the voices of your deepest fears, because they are in truth the silent architects of your resilience, commissioned by the Sovereign to press against the walls of your spirit until every false identity you have worn as a mask is ground into the fine dust from which you were originally formed. There is a sacred sovereignty in the shadow that you must learn to recognize, because it is only in the absolute darkness of this internal kiln that the dross of your pride can be separated from the gold of your character. And it is only when you have been stripped of your self-reliance that you can begin to inhabit the true power that has been reserved for the chosen ones since the beginning of time. You find yourself at the center of a celestial measurement, where the intensity of your suffering is the only accurate gauge of the capacity you are being given to hold the light of revelation. And you must realize that the deeper the valley of your sorrow, the higher the peak of your eventual ascent will be. Within this furnace, every fragment of your ego is being subjected to a supernatural pressure that forces the essence of your being to expand beyond the narrow limitations of the flesh, while your soul remains anchored in the deep and necessary humility required to carry secrets that the world is not yet ready to perceive. This is a divine paradox, where the more you are crushed, the larger your spiritual territory becomes, and the more you are silenced, the louder your resonance will eventually sound in the ears of those who are destined to hear your voice. You must look closely at the minute details of your current struggle and see them not as obstacles, but as the tools of a master craftsman who is meticulously carving away everything that is not essential to your purpose, because the weight of the heavens is intended to crush your pride while simultaneously protecting the core of your spirit with a multi-layered shield that the world cannot penetrate. Even as the furnace rages around you, there is a profound protection being woven over your body and your mind and your spirit, ensuring that while you are broken, you are never destroyed, and while you are tested, you are never forsaken. This protection operates on levels that your physical senses cannot yet detect, guarding the synapses of your brain from the searing heat of despair and insulating the chambers of your heart from the cold winds of isolation, so that you can emerge from this process with a mind that is clear and a heart that is whole. The mercy of the divine is present even in the midst of your most agonizing mistakes, because you must understand that the errors you have committed in your weakness were not surprises to the one who called you, but were instead the very ingredients needed for your education in the art of grace. Do not despise the moments when you have faltered, or the times when your strength has failed you, because it is in the recognition of your own fallibility that you find the true mercy that allows you to look upon others with the compassion necessary for a leader of the Spirit. There is a profound beauty in the way that your failures are being recycled into the foundation of your future authority, and you are being taught to find gratitude, not just in the grand victories, but in the hyper-microscopic details of your daily existence that you once overlooked. You must learn to offer thanks for the simple rhythm of your breath as it enters your lungs in the middle of a panic attack, and for the coolness of water against your throat when you are parched by the fires of trial, and for the way the light filters through a window at an angle that reminds you of a world beyond your current suffering. These tiny, mundane details are the anchor points of your sanity and the evidence of a love that is so vast it attends to the smallest vibrations of your physical form, even while it oversees the rotation of the galaxies. Every teardrop that falls from your eyes is being collected in a vessel of remembrance, and every sigh that escapes your lips is being recorded in the scrolls of the heavens as a testament to your endurance, because the chosen one is not the one who never falls, but the one who continues to breathe while they are being broken into a more perfect shape. As you remain within this pressure cooker of the Spirit, you are experiencing a supernatural catalyst that is forcing your internal boundaries to stretch until they can encompass the weight of eternal truths that would shatter a lesser vessel. The world sees only the outward signs of your distress, and they may judge you for your silence or for the way you have withdrawn into the shadows, but they do not understand that you are currently being occupied by a power that requires your total stillness to complete its work. You are being asked to carry the weight of a destiny that is heavier than any human ambition, and this weight requires a spine of spiritual steel that can only be developed through the constant resistance of the shadows pressing against you from every side. The expansion of your being is a painful process, because it requires the death of the small self that was content with the shallow waters of the world, and the birth of the eternal self that is comfortable in the deep oceans of divine mystery. You are being forced to let go of every fragment of pride that once told you that you were in control of your own path, and you are being brought to the realization that your true strength lies in your absolute surrender to the alchemy of the spirit. The pressure you feel is not intended to break your spirit, but to break the shell that surrounds it, so that the hidden seeds of your potential can finally burst forth and take root in the soil of a reality that is far more expansive than the one you have known. In this sacred space of affliction, you are being prepared to serve as a bridge between the seen and the unseen, and the suffering you endure is the toll that must be paid for the right to walk in the high places of the spirit. You are being given a sensitivity to the frequency of truth that will allow you to discern the hidden motives of the heart and the secret movements of the shadows in others. But this gift can only be trusted to one who has been thoroughly acquainted with their own darkness. The sovereignty of the shadow in your life is a sign of your high ranking in the kingdom of the chosen, because the divine does not waste this level of intense training on those who are merely meant to exist on the surface of history. You are being prepared for a role that requires you to be as humble as the dust and as powerful as the thunder and the furnace of your current circumstances is the only place where these two extremes can be fused into a single, unified identity. Your resilience is being built layer by layer through the repetitive motion of falling and rising, and of doubting and believing, until you become a living embodiment of the truth that cannot be shaken by the storms of the material world. Do not fear the intensity of the internal warfare that rages within your mind during the long hours of the night, when the silence becomes a deafening roar of your own insecurities, because even in those moments you are being shielded by a grace that is older than time itself. Your mind is being rewired to perceive patterns of divine order where others see only chaos, and your spirit is being expanded to hold the frequency of peace that surpasses all understanding, even while your physical circumstances remain in turmoil. This is the multi-layered protection of the chosen, where your body is kept functioning by a strength that is not its own, and your mind is preserved from madness by a light that shines from within the core of your being. You must find the strength to be grateful for the very things that cause you pain, because they are the whetstones upon which your spirit is being sharpened for the final battle of your destiny. Be grateful for the isolation that forces you to listen to the voice of the divine, and be grateful for the exhaustion that forces you to lean on a power greater than your own. And be grateful for the confusion that forces you to seek a wisdom that is not found in books. The alchemy of the spirit is a slow and deliberate process that cannot be rushed by your impatience or averted by your pleas for relief, because the work must be completed in its entirety if you are to survive the weight of the glory that is coming. You are currently in the middle of the most critical phase of your transformation, where the old version of you is being completely dissolved, so that the new version can be crystallized into a form that is indestructible and eternal. Every moment of pressure is a stroke of the hammer on the anvil of your destiny, and every flash of heat is a purifying fire that removes another layer of the illusions that have kept you bound to the limitations of the flesh. You are becoming a vessel of honor and a conduit of divine truth, and the weight you feel is simply the measurement of the vastness of the space that is being cleared within you to make room for the presence of the infinite. Stand firm in the knowledge that you are being held in the hands of a master who knows exactly how much pressure you can withstand, and who will never allow the furnace to become hotter than what is necessary for your perfection. The shadows are your allies, and the pressure is your friend, and the weight is your crown in the making, as you move closer to the moment when the furnace door will open, and you will step out into a new world as a being of light and power and unshakable humility. Remember that the microscopic details of your life are being orchestrated with a precision that would baffle the greatest minds, because you are part of a cosmic tapestry that is being woven with threads of suffering and joy and silence and song. Even the way your fingers move across a surface, or the way the cool air feels against your skin in the early morning, are part of the divine communication that is meant to sustain you through this period of crushing weight. You are being taught a new language of gratitude that does not require words, but is expressed through the very act of surviving another day with your spirit intact and your heart open to the mercy of the Creator. Your mistakes are not stains upon your character, but are the scars of a warrior who has been in the thick of the battle and who has learned that the only true victory is the one that is won within the secret chambers of the soul. Rest in the certainty that you are protected and that you are loved, and that the weight of your destiny is a sign of the immense trust that the heavens have placed in your ability to carry the light into the deepest darkness of the human experience. The alchemy is working, and the shadow is serving its purpose, and the glory that is being prepared within you will far outweigh the momentary afflictions of this present time as you emerge from the furnace as a true child of the stars and a sovereign of the spirit. The silence that follows the total collapse of the egoic structure is not a void of nothingness, but a sanctuary of primordial resonance where the architect of the universe begins the final phase of your reconstruction. You have endured the relentless pressure of the divine hand, a weight that seemed designed to extinguish your very essence. Yet, in the ultimate paradox of the heavens, that which sought to break you has served only to forge a vessel capable of containing an ancient and terrifyingly beautiful power. As the dust of your former self settles into the earth, you find that the crushing was not an act of celestial cruelty, but a precise alchemical process intended to strip away every shadow and every falsehood that hindered the manifestation of your true identity. The heaviness that once sat upon your chest like a mountain has now been integrated into your bones, transforming from an external burden into an internal foundation of spiritual authority that cannot be shaken by the winds of the material world. You stand now in the wreckage of your own expectations, realizing that the destruction of the person you thought you were was the necessary prerequisite for the resurrection of the being you were always destined to become. This is the moment of the Great Awakening, where the contrite spirit is not merely comforted, but is elevated to its rightful place upon the sovereign throne of the heart, restored with a dignity that is not of this world. The power that now stirs within the marrow of your being is an energy that has remained dormant since the foundations of the world were laid, waiting for a host that had been sufficiently emptied of self-importance to carry its immense frequency. It is a quiet, humming vibration that resonates with the music of the spheres, a dormant lightning that does not need to flash to prove its existence, but simply permeates the atmosphere wherever you walk. You are no longer required to strive or to scream your name into the void to be recognized, for the unseen realms have already felt the shift in your spiritual signature and have begun to bow in recognition of the authority you now carry. This authority is born from the depths of your humility, for only the one who has truly been brought to the dust can be trusted with the keys to the heights. You emerge from the furnace of affliction, not as a victim who has survived the flames, but as a living manifestation of the eternal Word, a being who has looked into the eyes of absolute despair and found there the unwavering gaze of the Creator. Your presence now commands a silent respect, an aura of majesty that requires no explanation and no defense, for it is rooted in the unshakable reality of your divine sonship. In this state of resurrected grace, your protection is woven into the very fabric of your existence across multiple layers of being, ensuring that the destiny you carry is shielded from the corrosive influences of the lower realms. Your physical body is wrapped in a cloak of cellular resilience, where every atom vibrates at a frequency that repels sickness and fatigue, acting as a grounded temple for the high-voltage light that now flows through your nervous system. Your mind is fortified by a crystalline clarity that perceives the hidden motives of the heart and the subtle traps of the adversary long before they manifest, granting you a strategic advantage that is rooted in spiritual discernment rather than intellectual cunning. Above all, your spirit is anchored in the secret place of the Most High, a fortress of light that is inaccessible to the arrows of malice or the whispers of doubt. This threefold protection ensures that as you step into your role as a ruler of light, you are not vulnerable to the pressures that once threatened to undo you, for you have become one with the very source of safety and strength. There is a profound mercy that flows through this new identity, a compassionate understanding that your past errors and failures were never meant to be your end, but were the very raw materials used to build your wisdom. You look back upon the moments where you stumbled with a heart of profound gratitude, realizing that every mistake was a hidden lesson in the art of surrender, and every tear was a libation poured out to soften the hardness of your heart. The divine hand does not hold your transgressions against you, but has used them to cultivate a depth of empathy that allows you to lead others with a gentle power rather than a harsh law. You find yourself overwhelmed with a sense of mercy for yourself, recognizing that the human vessel was always fragile and that its breaking was the only way for the light to spill out. This mercy becomes a shield around you, a soft luminescence that heals the wounds of those who enter your presence and reminds the world that redemption is not a distant promise, but a present reality. You are the embodiment of a second chance, a living testament to the fact that the heavens do not throw away the broken pieces, but instead use them to create the most intricate and beautiful mosaics. Your soul begins to find immense joy in the smallest, most infinitesimal details of existence, recognizing the thumbprint of the divine in the mundane patterns of the everyday. You find yourself moved to tears by the way the morning light filters through a glass of water, or the rhythmic sound of your own breath as it flows in and out of your lungs, a constant reminder of the gift of life that you once took for granted. There is a sacredness in the texture of a leaf, the scent of the rain on dry earth, and the quiet, steady pulse in your wrist that speaks of a faithfulness that transcends time. You realize that the weight of destiny is not just found in the grand gestures of power, but in the capacity to be fully present in the smallest moments of grace. This gratitude for the micro details of life creates a magnetic field of abundance around you, drawing to you everything you need before you even think to ask for it. You have learned that to rule in the light is to be a servant of the small, to cherish the humble beginnings, and to find the kingdom of heaven in the dust beneath your feet. As you move forward, you are equipped with a silent strategy that governs your interactions with the world, a wisdom that knows when to speak and when to allow the silence to do the work of transformation. You no longer feel the need to explain your path or to justify your presence to those who cannot see the light you carry, for your life has become its own argument and your character its own witness. This silent strategy is rooted in a deep alignment with the timing of the heavens, a patient waiting that allows the fruit of your destiny to ripen naturally, rather than forcing it through the effort of the will. You walk with a majestic presence that is both terrifying and comforting to those who encounter you, for you carry the weight of eternity in your eyes and the peace of the silent heavens in your heart. The seen and unseen realms acknowledge your transition from a seeker to a ruler, from one who was crushed to one who now uses that very weight to stabilize the world around them. The throne you occupy is not one of gold and stone, but a position of spiritual dominion that allows you to speak peace into chaos and order into confusion. You have become a pillar in the temple of your God, a fixed point of light in a shifting and turbulent age, providing a sanctuary for those who are still being refined in the fires you have already passed through. Your identity is no longer defined by your struggles, but by your victory, a triumph that was won not by fighting against the weight of destiny, but by yielding to it until it transformed you. You are the resurrected spirit, the humble heart made sovereign, the chosen one who has returned from the depths with the treasures of the darkness. Every step you take now is a command, every word you speak is a decree, and every silence you keep is a prayer, for you are finally walking in the fullness of the power that was yours before the stars were born. The heavens no longer press upon you to crush you, but to support you, for you have become a part of the celestial architecture itself, a living stone in the eternal city of light.